Hola. So Greg here again, and this time I want to have a chat, a look at relationship. You know, what does the future of human relationship look like? Because I don't know how you're experiencing this, but for me, in my reality, there's been massive shifts in the nature of the relationships that I find myself in at all levels, from primary relationships to groups and organizations to individuals to family to children to everything. Everything that I am existing in relationship to seems to be morphing at this time. And I want to have a little chat about what that morphing actually is. Where are we heading with this as a species in terms of our new relationship dynamic? We're all, probably if you're watching this, you're variously engaged in some way with this transformational journey that to some extent we're all being called now to step up to and embody as earth changes and these earth changes unfold. And a new higher vibration seems to be grounding on this planet. It's opening the door for new types of relationship to unfold. And in fact, actually, this is probably the most important aspect of this planetary transformation that's taking place right now, because everything is relationship. Everything has been relationship. And all we know is this 3D reality wherein, through the veil of separation, we find ourselves in these relationship dynamics that are almost invariably confrontational. And even where they're not outwardly combative or confrontational, there is this element within them which is vampirical in nature, even where we're not aware that we're doing that. Anywhere where we have not essentially attained a level of self-mastery within ourselves, where we are understanding and are able to perceive the energetic framework which makes up who and what I am, how I navigate my way through the world, and how that energy field engages with others. Until we are fully conversant with and can see the depth of how this operates, we find that on all levels we're engaging in relationship in a very unclean way. And most of us are, especially, I'll use primary relationships as an example because they're the ones that seem to give most people the most trouble. But in all relationships, what we're actually doing all the time is bringing our past stories, ideas, beliefs, our future wishes and fears, or the opposite of our future fears, all these ideas that do not exist in reality in this present, not the truth in this present moment, bringing them in to the majesty of the relationship we're engaged with in the present moment, which is already absolutely perfect just the way it is, when we don't bring any of that other shit in over the top. So what's happening at the moment is almost 100% of the expressions of our relationships, for most of us, in most of our relationships, carries this unclean quality to it. And so we're consciously and intentionally engaging in relationship based upon the notions, false ideas, beliefs, false definitions of love that we might have acquired over the years. We're basing our entire relationship dynamics subconsciously on all these programs that are operating. And this is what we're being called to transcend at this moment in time. And for those of us that are deep in this process, you'll notice wherever you are on the path to it, that it can be quite challenging and quite painful, because what we're being called to do is to stand and look at ourselves in all relationship and wipe clean all relationship templating we've carried from earlier in life, from past lives. So if you think that we have these kind of relationship templates that we carry around, and we subconsciously base every relationship engagement on these relationship templates, these it is this templating that we're being called to wipe clean. You could say that we're birthing together a new relationship template for humanity, but it is a non-template template. It's a template without any form, without anything permitted to enter its space. So the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I imagine that there are an awful lot of people out there who are going through this process in some way or another at the moment, but don't realize that this process is actually going on, that it is natural, that it is the earth, is Gaia, it is life itself trying to support us into a higher expression of ourselves, into a new, higher form of relationship, into love in every aspect. This is how amazing life is, that it has the intelligence to offer us such beautiful gifts, and we have the stupidity to decline them. But this is the gift of free will that we've been given, and right now I think a lot of us are making choices, exercising that free will against this emerging relationship dynamic, but largely for lack of knowledge, because we don't realize that this is what's going on, especially when we're in the thick of it. We can find that there's a lot of mirroring going on in all of our relationships, that this mirroring is causing, is the same as it's always been. You know, that it's showing ourselves to ourselves, which it is, but it's for the first time really offering us the potential to transcend all of that old templating together. And so in an awareness of this process is probably the most wondrous thing, because we can actually now, provided that we have some level of capacity for presence and discernment, we can look at all of the dynamics that are going on in our life that we would otherwise be saying, maybe I need to get out of here, maybe I need to change this, this isn't working, this isn't going right for me, this is not what I want. I may otherwise be saying these things, but perhaps now we can just say, hold on a moment. I'm precisely where I am meant to be at this moment. It could be no other way. I acknowledge and understand that I am being called forth to participate in this grand experiment, to work with Gaia, to transmute our the very template which has enslaved me and the rest of my brothers and sisters of our human species. This is an opportunity. I'm being called and invited to participate in this grand unfolding. And we can treat this invitation as the gift that it is. We are the growth and the learning that is available as we delve into this, as we stand on the edge, which is exactly what we have to do in this. Every moment is to stand right there on the edge, in the most insecure space that we can find, the insecure space that finds us, and be willing to stand there, be willing to experience everything that arises, all of the purest essence of love that is emerging through this form now, that's going to be growing and coming through you much greater extent, and all of the pain that is simultaneously there as you're stepping into and embracing this new dynamic, is allowing all of your own shadow to be brought to be brought out into the light of day, with really no possibility of ignoring it any longer. And this is a great gift, and we have to feel through that, but it's okay. It's really okay to do. And when we get through, we may even find that there is, for me, I passed through this phase not so long ago, but I've since found that what I'm actually experiencing now, I still have the most tremendous love, divine love, expressing through this center of my being all the time. And at the same time, there is this immense pain all of the time, over the top. And it's not my pain. It's not stuff that I'm clearing from my past anymore. It is not these genetic lineages of my family lines. It is not any of these other things. It is these archetypical pain bodies that have been rooted in the collective morphogenetic field of our species that need to be burnt through. And we were the ones that created them, and we're the ones that need to step up and experience this as well, to be willing to clear this dynamic for the rest of our species. And if we are at this point in time being called into that kind of a work, and if you adopt, anyone who adopts the mission of engaging this slipstream to our higher expression of human relationship, will find themselves being invited into this space as well. We are invited to transmute all of the collective pain bodies of the archetypes in our human story. And as we do this, we begin then to clear that space for everyone else to engage the same new emerging relationship templates. So, whatever is going on in your life as regards relationship, have no fear. It is meant to be this way right now, at this time. It is the greatest invitation you have received. And if you can just find a way to breathe, anchor, stand still, and love, then this will be the greatest gift you have ever received.